Hey, this is Tyler with T-Jack Survival. Today I'm going to do something completely unique. I'm going to do a demo on a tent sauna, so stick with me. So a couple months ago, I got an email from a company in Russia that was asking me to demo a tent sauna. And maybe like you all, I was intrigued. I was like, what's that? That's something interesting. And normally the junk that I get emailed to demo from companies is just like fridges and lawn furniture and crap I would never ever buy, let alone demo or put on my channel. But when I researched them, I looked at their website, I looked at the YouTube videos, I found what I could, and it was really cool. It was something very interesting. So I replied back to them and said, yeah, I'll demo a tent sauna. Now, when I initially got it, I set it up in my backyard. I thought I'd use it once or twice, and I ended up using it almost every single day for weeks on end. It was so cool having access to a sauna in my backyard, and it got so hot so fast because I could just throw some wood in it, and within 5 minutes it'd be 180 plus 200 degrees, and it was really awesome to use. So after I did that, I was like, okay, I need to actually take this thing out and demo it and show you guys. So anyway, yeah, I emailed them. They sent me the sauna. I used it in my backyard for quite a bit. I kind of worked out the kinks on how to set it up. It's not super intuitive, but not hard once you figure it out. And anyway, that's what I've got now. I've got the stove right here. I have the tent itself right there with an axe. So I'm gonna get to putting this thing together, and then once it's assembled, I can kind of set it where I want. It's not super level right here, but like I wanted to go up into the snow. As you can tell, there's a ice covered lake behind me that I want to jump into after I've been in the sauna for a little bit. So let's get to this. That's awesome. Wind, not so much. Okay, so I'm trying to think of the questions that you guys might want to ask me while I'm putting this up. One thing there's a couple things that are different about this tent than they are about other American products that I've seen. And I know when I was in Kyrgyzstan, which had old Russian technology, it's smart, it's robust, it's just different. About the tent a little bit, it's insulated, so it's gonna keep heat in, it's gonna keep cold out, it's gonna be good for winter camping if you wanna use it for that as well. It's robust, it's heavy. Heavy for a tent, it's not heavy, but it's heavy for a tent. It's about as heavy as a winter sleeping bag. It's kind of a reference for how heavy it is. And that's the tent, the poles, the bag, everything except for the stove. The stove's awesome. You could put another stove in it if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could put another stove in it if you had one. The stove is heavy. The stove's got some weights. Man, I'm shooting in the dark, 20 pounds, I'm guessing, 15, 20 pounds. So it's a heavy stove, but I mean, it's a stove that's designed to create huge amounts of heat. You put rocks on top of it that you can pour water on top of, so that it'll create steam. Anyway, can't bend the laws of physics. So it is a great stove for what it's made for. It's a good tent, it's fairly robust. One really interesting thing is these stakes. Okay, these stakes, they corkscrew into the ground and they lock in hard. This tent was grabbing the wind and moving it around, and it's like a sail. Right here I'm in a really windy spot, unfortunately. But these stakes, they drill into the ground and they are not gonna move anywhere. Kind of give you a close-up on these guys. Those are the stakes. They're just like those corkscrew things you buy to put a leash on for a dog, and they twist into the dirt. They go pretty well until you run into a rock, and that's not coming out. Comes with 5 of them. That's enough for every corner. And then on this one side over here, there is a guy line that you can add a stake to. The reason that's important is your stove is going to go right here. This is your stove jack right there, and this is your exit vent. It gets so hot in here you can't breathe. It gets so hot. So this is your exit vent. I just leave it open all the time except when I'm packing it around. And on this side where this guy line is, we've got that stake in there holding it down. So it just kind of keeps that edge of the tent from touching the stove. I mean, I don't care what the material is. You don't want it to touch the stove because it's gonna melt. Another really cool thing that they have is a vent right here. You know, keeps the bugs out, but it'll let oxygen in. So when that air gets so hot that it's kind of hard to breathe in it, you can still get a little bit of oxygen in, and you can kind of control, it's hard to do this one-handed, you can control how much air is coming in and how much air is going out. That way you can control how fast it gets hot and how fast it cools off. Now I have an electrical sauna at home. It's at least 20 minutes to a half an hour on maximum to get it up to temperatures around 170, 180 degrees. And if any of you are familiar with saunas, 200 degrees is not unreasonable. Man, I gotta do this with two hands. So what you want to do is open this vent right here. It draws oxygen in on the bottom. That guy line is going to keep the keep it from touching it on the side. And then over here on this back side, that's an exit vent. Just kind of let that extra hot air out. And on a side note, don't touch anything. It gets so hot. There's some mittens that they come with that I use to close this, or if you've got a t-shirt, I usually will use a t-shirt to put on my hands or my face when it gets too hot, because it's only hot for a minute until the hot water vapors kind of cool off. But that way you can grab this and close it to let it burp out some of that extremely hot air. All right, let's see if we can set this stove up real quick. The doors are really kind of cool because they will tie off on the side over here. So right here there's this little latch to hold it open, which is nice if you want to get in and out and you're stepping around, I don't know, you're barefoot or whatever. And while I'm thinking about it, I have a floor for this. I didn't grab the floor for this because I am the only one out here, or at least in this area of the lake. But for this area, I'm the only one out here, and usually I go to an area I'm worried about dirt on the ground and I want to put a floor down just for insulation and stuff. You don't need a floor. I have a floor. You're going to see in future videos. I used it constantly in the gravel in my backyard, but I don't have it here. So, but what's nice about it is that floor will fold a section up so the stove can sit in one section. You can sit on your butt on the ground on that floor just fine, and it velcros to the side. I have these the velcro patches right here and right here. That's all to attach to the floor. So the floor is awesome. I have it in my truck. I was going to use it, but I don't think it's necessary for what I'm doing right now, so I haven't put it in. Now, before I hit that stove, this is just so cool. Again, doing this one-handed. Oh, that's beautiful. Who wants a sauna view like that? That's outstanding. Or if you know you gotta be in your skivvies, butt naked, the Finnish way, you can close it up. But if you want to roll it up and attach it, there's some strings right here, attachment pieces right here, or there's Velcro, which I've got there in the bottom, so it'll close itself up. And then these pockets are really handy. I leave these mittens that they sent me. This is the company, Morzh, M-O-R-Z-H. I'm sure that I'm slaughtering that name. I don't speak Russian. I apologize up front. I'm going to call it Morzh or Morzh, I think, if I'm saying that right. Man, if you speak Russian, help me. Anyway, these mitts came with it, and it is super nice to have these mitts because I can just throw them on. I can touch this, mess with toggles, you know, zip up or unzip super hot. air burping things, you know, deal with this, whatever I'm gonna do, deal with the strings. Oh, and this is nice too. This internal string's not gonna get hot, so you can zip and unzip it that way without, you know, if you get so hot you gotta bail out and just pull it out. There really should be no reason to bail out. Just lay down on the ground until it cools off. But if you need to, you can just be like, whoa, I'm out. All right, enough talking. Again, let's build this. Let's build this stove and get it all set up. Okay, about this stove, there's a hatch right here for the stove. Now, let me show you how it works. It's Velcro. It exposes the stove hatch. This is flame resistant and metal flame resistant to hold your pipe there, because it gets glow in the dark red hot. So that works that way. But a thing that people don't often notice is right here, this is Velcro too. So you can just, see if I can do this. You can attach it like that, or I like to kind of fold it up a little bit. Kind of fold it up into a ball and just attach this piece and this piece. And the only reason that matters, there's neater ways to do it, but the only reason that matters is if the wind grabs this, you don't want your flap to go up and rub against your super hot stovepipe. So that's Velcro, which is pretty darn hardy, holds that solid and keeps your little hatch from touching your stovepipe. So this stove already, it comes in a really smart carrying case that has these attachments right here on the side. They just kind of slide out, and you just slide this up like this, and that's how it holds itself up. And then on the end of it, it just kind of wraps up inside of itself. It's just 2 pieces of Velcro. I use this. Should have cleaned it out better. But it just opens up like that, and then there's your stove. This is your ashtray, which I thought I cleaned most of it up. And then the smart part is it keeps its pipes on the inside of it. And then it's also got feet on the bottom. Just 4 feet. Close that because I made a little bit of a mess. And then there's that holder, which is just like a diaper for a stove. Just latches right up like that. So that's super smart. Now this stove is really easy to deal with, okay? All you gotta do is put your feet on first, and they just screw in the bottom, just like this, into some bolts that have been welded on. Okay, screw your feet on, stand it up. Now, it's designed to have rocks on top, and then it's got these metal panels that pop out so that the heat stays there and filters up to the top. It's also nice if you bump it, it's not going to burn you. But I was a little bit confused on how to work these things. All you got to do is pick them up and slide them out. Okay, you don't have to unscrew or mess with anything. You pick it up and you slide it out. And then it's got that space between the branding you hot infernal stove and the metal plate on the outside. Pick it up, slide it out. And that's it. It's set up. Now all I have to do is assemble the poles, stick them up the top right here, and we are good. One thing that's nice too is there's a handle right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a handle in the front and the back of the stove. So if you want to carry it this way, it's kind of handy. And then let me get the pipe set up here. And then I'm gonna kind of turn this like this. And it's super important to make sure it's level. It's not gonna tip over, burn your stove. You know, it's in a steady place. I'm sorry, the stove's not gonna tip over, burn your tent. And that you're seated in deep and strong, so that you're not gonna have smoke coming out of any of these holes. Now that the stove is set up, I need to get some rocks. Be careful with your rocks. They can pop open if they have water in them. Try to find igneous rocks that are dry as possible. I know where I'm gonna go grab some rocks from over here, but you don't have to use rocks. I may change my mind and make a look at them. But if you set rocks right here and then you just get some water, you can pour it on there and it will substantially increase, not the temperature, but the ability to deliver the heat to your body because of the water content. It makes it really humid, and water will distribute heat 25% more efficiently, or take away heat 25% more efficiently if you jump in a lake, than just dry air. So if you have a way to put rocks on here, you pour water on those rocks, it's going to make it steamy in here and transfer that heat to you much faster. Yeah, I'm going to go see what I can do on this. That should work. Now I just got to change, come back here and start my fire. And I know someone's gonna ask, that's a knife made for me by the channel The Topakala from Finland. And I figured how fitting but to use a Finnish puukko to make a fire for a sauna. Okay, I've been fishing. It's cold. I'm gonna get in here. I have 45 minutes to an hour and a half before the sun goes down, roughly. So, gonna cook myself. Gonna hop in that freezing cold lake. Gonna get back in here and cook myself, and then eat some dinner and sleep like a baby. All right. Kind of show you how this is cooking. Found a chunk of fat wood. In fact, 2 chunks of fat wood. Got it cooking good. Let a little smoke out, but it's venting out that hole. But anyway, you can leave the door shut. I just happen to have this open. And the main reason is that I want to load this up really good so that I don't have to load it up again. Once I get it good and cooking, then I can just sit here and be toasty and take a dip and then hop back in, maybe throw one more log on and let it cook until it's done cooking. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of water I brought that I can put on those rocks. I grabbed those rocks from around a fire ring, so they should be capable of handling some heat. Let's hope they don't crack on me. We'll find out. All right. So it's getting hot in here. I know, that's the point. And I wish I could convey to you the heat. It's been 12 minutes since I lit my fire. 17 minutes, almost 12 minutes. 17 minutes since I lit my fire. It's starting to get legit hot. I'm gonna say 100 degrees, probably. And I base that on what it feels like when it's 100 degrees in my sauna in my house. Also, man, look at that. That is so cool. That is the sun setting. Beautiful. Like, how cool is it to be super hot, like really warm, up here where it's cold, like it was really cold in that water earlier. I can see the sun setting. It's almost getting too hot to touch. I can start to feel the sweat will start here. So let's put a little water on it. See what happens. The rocks aren't quite hot yet, but they will fortunately help hold some of that water, keep it steaming. Probably wait a little bit, not use all my water up. It's also my drinking water. But it's really simple. I mean, it's a hot sauna. It is a, ooh, I can feel the sweat coming in. It is a legitimately hot sauna that is on par with any sauna that you would have in your backyard or your house, or barrel sauna, or whatever you're gonna use, sweat lodge if you will. And it's portable. It's so cool to just throw this in the back of my truck, drive up to, I think I'm 9,000 or 10,000 foot elevation up here. I should probably look that up. Very high elevation. Right now it's like 80 degrees in the valley. It's getting hard to talk. It's like 80 degrees in the valley, and it's cold up here. I mean, it's snowing. It was snowing the day before yesterday when I was up here, and it's legitimately cold. So it's really cool to be able to take this hot sauna up here, have a nice hot soak, and then I'm gonna sleep in the back of my truck tonight. But if you had like a hammock or a tent or something and you wanted to go camping for a few days and you had this at your base camp, maybe if you're up here teaching some survival courses and you have the sauna, it gives people the ability to clean themselves with the heat. The sweat is cleansing. Then you can jump in the cold lake. That's some heat shock proteins, some cold shock proteins, and then get back in the sauna and really cook yourself good, wash yourself off, get dressed, sleep like a baby. It's just outstanding. All right, I gotta set this GoPro down because I can feel it getting hot, and yeah, I don't want to melt my GoPro. It's getting hot. I'm staying in the sauna longer, cooking myself more than I should because I'm dreading getting in the water, and it's time to get in the water because it's just hot. It's like almost overbearingly hot, which is good. You want, I mean, 15, 20 minutes, 25 max, and then come back and sit in it till your fire dies or whatever. You will sleep so good. Feel amazing. Before I go, I want fire to be here when I get back. I've been slowly adding wood to it. Gonna test that thing. It's getting a little bit hot. Whoo, that's some heat. Oh my gosh. Probably don't need this, but there's one last piece. This way, the gasification process can cook all of the water out of that piece of wood before I get back, which lowers the temperature. And then once that gasification process is done, then it gets really, really, really hot. And I will add that last little bit of water to it. So it's time to get in the lake. I had to stick my little GoPro down by the cold air because it got so hot. But I'm cooked. It's time to get in the water. It's gonna be awesome for you. It's gonna suck for me. Oh, this is so dumb, so dumb, so dumb. Oh, that's cold. Oh, that's cold. Holy crap, that's cold. I gotta get this over with. You know that's like they do it. Holy crap. Woo! Some fishermen looking at me over there like, what is wrong with that guy? Oh, that's cold. It's that shock. You can hold in it, sit in it, but even right now my legs are starting to burn already. Oh, that was great. That was great. That's some burn. Whew. That is awesome. Nice frozen lake. I feel good. My legs are burning. I feel good. It's beautiful up here because there's just nobody here yet. There's robins over there playing, there's squirrels everywhere, there's just constant chattering and stuff, and it's been so great to get up here away from people. There's a couple people on the other side of the lake and I'm just like, whatever, but it's just been really amazing to get up here in the altitude. And I was cold from fishing earlier and soaking in that sauna, and right now I feel good. Like I could just stand here and just absorb it. Like I feel amazing. But what I'm gonna do is sit until I get kind of cold, make sure that I'm cold. I probably could sit in the water longer, but oh man, that's burning. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a dumb idea. Oh, you feel that up your spine. That is so cold. I'm steaming. This is definitely coming with me on future trips. Like, it is so cool to be able to get in a sauna, jump in a lake in the mountains, and get back in the sauna. But it's burning. Oh, whew. Keep freaking out about my GoPro because I hear these birds going deep, 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 and it sounds like my GoPro camera turning off. Ooh, now I get cooked, I dry off, make some dinner, because dinner is good. I kind of want to throw a quick plug. I've been using these Fox Outfitters equipment for the last year and a half, or 2 years, I think. I got one of their micro towels. I got a fireplace, a hammock, a really nice insulated mat that I've used up in northern Canada. And I've been meaning to put them all together, but they're kind of tools that don't really fit in one video. So I wanted to mention this micro towel as a solution for situations like right now. From a survival perspective, it's something you can use to wick dew off of and drink water. There's a bunch of uses you can have. It's also something nice to have when you go rafting or kayaking or fishing and you fall in the water or whatever. But for me, for now, this is a very lightweight, very large, porous towel that I can use to dry off. I was sweating in the sauna. I get in the lake, I'm gonna get back in the sauna, I'm gonna be wet, and I don't want to go to bed wet. So, Fox Outfitters micro towel, they're awesome. That's what I'm gonna use to clean off before I get dressed. Something that I would maybe even suggest leaving in the pocket of your Morzh sauna, so that it's always with the sauna. It's something smart, really smart to have. And then the cool thing about these micro towels, because I've used them a lot in the military, you use them, you got sweat and stuff in it, right? You take it, get some soap, wash it in the water, biodegradable soap, wash it in the water, leave it to dry. Once it's dry, it smells good, it's antimicrobial so it doesn't stink, and it's just, you can clean it in the field. That's super nice, because then you've got a towel that you don't have to use one time and take home and throw in the dishwasher, throw in the washing machine. All right, I'll leave a link for this and everything down below the video. If there's something you want to know about, ask me, and I try to answer every single one of my questions. Okay, hopefully this review was valuable to you. It was on the Morzh, Morzh, if I say that correctly. It's awesome. I wasn't sure if I would like it. I've used it way more than I thought that I would. I'm gonna continue to use it as I teach survival classes in the future. It's gonna go with me when I travel down south. Anytime I go camping and car camping next to a lake, this thing is coming with me. I feel great right now. It's cold outside, I'm shaking just a little bit, but I feel amazing, and I know I'm gonna sleep like a baby. All right, thank you for watching T-Jack Survival.